Hey guys, it's been so long since I've had a memory card in the camera, I don't know what I've shared with you and what I haven't. Just finished this exercise up tonight. We have 20 threads per inch, 12 threads per inch, 24 threads per inch, 9 threads per inch, 14 threads per inch, and 14 threads per inch. I'm not sure how I repeated that. Well, I'm Kimberzelik. I'm bound to repeat things. Now, the significance of that whole thing is I used the method that I believe is unique to this machine and maybe several other machines. And that is where I engage the half nut, turn the machine on, I get my tool lined up. Well, I get my tool lined up on the workpiece. So at this point, everything is spinning at 190 RPMs, and I simply engage feed lever. The cutter travels across the part. I stop it. I back the tool away. I reverse it. This is all with the chuck still turning, not bothering the half nut at all. You turn that on initially at the very beginning, you don't touch it again. This doesn't even exist, the thread dial. So with all that new information, let me tell you again the method that I used. Okay, so I engage, the machine's off. I engage the half nut. I get my tool centered on the work. I go ahead and start it up, 190 RPMs. And everything's turning. I advance the compound a little bit for a scratch pass, and I shift this lever into forward. The tool moves across the work. I stop it. I back the tool away. I reverse the carriage, stop it, feed the tool in, adjust the compound, feed forward again. Okay, now with my machine, I can do that without clackety-clack. If I'm, say, the left of 12, if I'm to the left of 12 threads per inch. When I get 11, 12, 9, 8, 7, 6, I have to engage the clutch, slow everything down, then engage the feed, and then bring the clutch back up to speed, and then release the feed when I want to stop threading. Going in reverse, there's no need to slow the motor down. I can just do it. Feed the carriage back, down. These are for the gears I just mentioned now. Disengage the clutch, slow everything down. Engage the feed, bring the power back up, feed across, cut your threads. So like I said, as long as I'm in the 12, 13, 14, 16, 18, 20 range, there isn't sufficient torque to throw this thing out of gear. But it can still be done in that method. Now, 3 days ago, I was using a different method for threading. 3 days ago, I was watching the thread dial. When it hit C, the letter C, I'd engage it. When I stop cutting, disengage it. Bring the tool back, your typical manner. Okay, now I had all my tools mounted on this cement board, which is far from being flat. And so that meant that these holders, only one of these magnet strips might be holding a tool in that case. So I gotta project board. It's lightly sanded already. And I mounted my magnet strips to it, hoping that I could get, you know, a flatter plane for the magnets to engage the holder. At least have two of the magnets holding it. I've had tools drop off of that before, where I was just reaching for one and bumped the other one, and it dropped right onto the floor. We can't have that. So you know, I got that project board. It was $18. The last one I bought was $8. I was amazed at how, you know, how affordable it was back then. Then I took a little piece of scrap wood and I'm not even going to show you the holes I drilled for my MT3. Okay, speaking of MT3, let's go talk about that for a minute. So, I reamed out the MT3. It looks beautiful. Let me bring it down a little closer here to us. And even closer. Okay, that's close enough. Okay, now as I was reaming that, I was using a sleeve, an adapter sleeve sold by Shars, and this adapts an MT2 to an MT3, and works great. It's in there. Back that off. Now what I want you to look at is how far it's going in. You see the lip I have here, how much is sticking out there? Okay. Okay, now let's go to another adapter sleeve, and this is adapting MT2 to MT3. It is this long. And so let's get a little clearance here. Now let's put this in there. Now there's where the last sleeve sat. Okay. This one goes in, I'd almost say a 1/4 inch, maybe not that much, but it's locked in there. It's good. I can bring it out because I hammered this piece of aluminum in there. It's one of those projects that ended up, so it works all right, but it did, the taper did swallow that MT3. Okay, another one I have here is my ER32 collet chuck, which is a MT3 taper. And not a lot of use on this machine. I can still use it over on the mini lathe and the spindle, but it is not going to work on this one. Okay. Now I have my MT3 dead center, and I think this actually came with the mini lathe. And I added an ejection pin to it. So it's functional. It goes in a little further. Okay. It clearly goes in a little further than designers had planned, but it is functional. It will work. Now, my issue is I just bought, and I'm kind of glad there is an issue because I've changed my mind on what kind of chuck I want. But I did buy an MT3 chuck. Okay. Keyless. Okay, that looks good so far. Let's push this out. Not going to work in there, is it? Okay, not a problem. I don't want this anyway. What I've done is I've ordered an arbor that is a Jacob's taper number 3 to a Morris taper number 3, and if that works as well as the other sleeve that I got from Shars, then all I need to do is purchase that $200 chuck and stick on that JT taper. Okay, so we went over the board that I made. We talked about my Morris taper. We talked about the threading process. This little get up here was in the chip tray when I bought the lathe, and these two tap head screws I provided, there were no screws in those two holes that are holding this. There was just no screws there, but apparently there's enough paint and whatnot there that that's not going to come apart. So I'm thinking, I got a piece of PEX here, and I'm thinking getting some PVC tubing and maybe do something like this and have an arm come out and mount the camera. And, you know, give a, you know, maybe a bird's eye view like this with a camera. So I'm not sure what they use that for. It's pretty substantial. I imagine that maybe they hung a curtain on that, maybe a shield for when they were using coolant. Maybe the boss's desk was, you know, behind the lathe. Okay, I think you're pretty much brought up to date. I've got a thermometer in the shop. You can see it's about 72 degrees. Quick calculation, that makes it about 22 Celsius. And I've been stoning my surface plate here and my straight edge, and I've been stoning my stones as well, using working the coarse side against the fine side to clean up the fine side. And I got my captive nut project in process, so this should already be separatable. I don't have the strength to undo it at this time, but there's a separation here. There's a stainless steel. Actually, it's not a stainless steel grub screw. I wanted a stainless steel grub screw. Anyway, that'll separate. The idea is to thread that, put a nut on it, put it all back together, and wow, how'd you do that? Biscuit my dog found out in the yard, brought in. It's kind of dirty. I noticed he had a biscuit like 2 days ago. And then today he come stumbling into the shop with something in his mouth, and it was that same biscuit. I got about 11 pounds of chips out of my chip bin, chip tray. Yeah. I have about 4 or 5 of these shirts. If you see me, if you see me wearing them, it's how I do change clothes. Had all kinds of safety points when I left the company, and spend the safety points at the company store buying swag. All right. There's some stickers that'll be going out Monday. Got Joseph, Lonnie, Steve, and I'm gonna have to use your real name, I guess. Poppy have all requested stickers, and they're everything but the envelopes are everything but addressed and posted. But that should go out tomorrow, Monday, 29th or 30th. If you want stickers, my email is always in the description. They're not for sale. If you would like to have stickers, just email me with your mailing address, and I'll make that happen. I don't care where you're at in the world, we can get them there. If you have stickers, I would like to exchange stickers with you. Even if I already have one of yours, I could use another one to pass on to one of these people. Anything I have duplicates of, I send it along with my sticker to whoever the recipient is. Steve Lang, the Shark River, did the same for me, and helped me out with some that I hadn't had. Certainly channels that I viewed, but didn't have their stickers. So we just try to pay it forward, I guess. If this gets uploaded tonight, you probably have about 2 hours, or maybe California time, you might have till 3 a.m. East Coast to buy a coffee cup and 2 bottles of Anchor Lube from Bar Z Black Friday sale. I think it's maybe $25 for, I imagine they're 4-ounce bottles of Anchor Lube and a coffee cup. It has his oval logo on it and something CNC on the other side. So maybe I should quit talking and go get this video uploaded, so you might have a chance to participate in that Black Friday Bar Z sale. Okay. Appreciate all you new subscribers. I do machining on this channel occasionally. I'm just kind of in a transition where I just figured out I could use these work holders and get everything. I'm just getting all my tool heights and all my work holders set. I'm waiting on some more cutting tools. There will be some machining, because that's what I like to see when I watch YouTube videos. I like to see that cutter in contact with that material, shaving it off. I like to hear it. Some people mute the sound when they're machining, and it disappoints me, because you can learn a lot by listening to the machine. And if I tell you the rest of the reasons, you'll think I'm a nutball or something. Fruitcake. Yeah. HERO spells moon. Okay, guys. Thanks for coming along. See you next time.